Hello everybody, this is Mr. Raphael back with day 4 of the Sketching and Drawing Challenge. I hope you're keeping up, not necessarily that you have to be doing this every day. I'm producing a video every day, but if you're just tuning in when you have technical classes or even in your own time, I'm quite happy that you're working through these at your own pace. But hopefully over the coming weeks, you begin to build up a bit of a portfolio of your sketching and drawing techniques, and I feel like I'm improving already. This is the most I've drawn in a while, and I'm sure if you keep it up, you'll build up a nice little sketchbook or even loose sheets of sketches and drawings that you produced. And it would be great to see those. I'm already getting people sending them in to me. Some of them are absolutely fantastic. I got one in my email this morning, and I actually thought it was a photograph of one that I had done, and I realised it was actually their own work. It was very, very good. So well done to everybody who's been sending them in. So guys, yeah, 1 point perspective sofa is what we're doing today. I'm going to I've got a corner sofa at home, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I can look at that. It's nice to have a sort of reference when you're drawing these things, so you can look at how high it is versus how wide it is and things like that. Right guys, so straight on with our 1 point perspective sofa. We've done a few chairs, so we'll do the sofa as part of our challenge today. Right guys, already on my sheet here I've got a horizon line, nice light horizon line, and I've got a vanishing point. This time I've put my vanishing point across to the right hand side of my page, and I'm going to draw my sofa down here, and that would give me a better view, I suppose, of my sofa that I'm going to be drawing. If I drew my vanishing point here, all my lines become quite extreme, so it would give me a different view. I want to see more of the sofa, so putting my vanishing point across here is going to help me with that. So again guys, I'm going to try and draw this quite big today, so we can get a bit more detail on it, and hopefully it makes things a bit clearer at home. I'm going to draw it quite far down my page, I suppose. The further down the page this is going to be, the closer it's going to be to me, so the bigger it can be. If you've not done challenge number 2, that was basic 1 point perspective cubes and things. If you've not tried that, I suggest you give that one a go before you give this one a go. So what I'm imagining here is a rectangular shape that would fit my sofa, the end elevation of my sofa into there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a basic sofa to begin with, and then I'm going to use it as the bones for my more complex one. So I'm going to say something like this. There's my seat level. So a basic kind of, very basic sofa kind of shape. I'm going to go back and improve that as I go, but I just want to get the bones of my sofa in just now. So once I've drawn that shape in, I'm just going to project these lines or these corners back to my vanishing point using a ruler again today. As I said before, any kind of straight edge will do. So now I've got like this almost, it's like a mega bench going all the way into the distance. So I want to begin to think about the proportions of my sofa now. How far back do I want it to go? Obviously I don't want it going away up here. And I'm just kind of thinking about my sofa, how big it is this way compared to how wide it is here. So I'm going to go something like that. So again, when I'm drawing this back end of the sofa, I'm looking at the front end of it. From here I've got a horizontal line that hits this line and goes down, so horizontal line and then straight down. Try and keep these lines parallel to each other and these lines parallel to each other. Looking at the front end again, it comes down, hits this diagonal line and goes straight across. So I should do the same again, comes down, hits this diagonal line, and then it's just going to go straight across. And again, this line should be parallel to the line you've got at the front. And then when it hits this line at the front, it comes straight down again, so same again. Right guys, so I've got one side of my corner sofa here. I want to put the corner unit that comes across here now. So in this corner, there's another little bit of a sofa, so I'm going to put that in. And that kind of becomes my corner unit. And then this would come straight across. And that's forming the seat that would be directly in front of me. What I'm going to do here as well, so I've got my seating level that comes along now, comes into the corner, and this is the seating level coming across here now because I'm doing a corner unit sofa. What I want to do now is, here's the back of this sofa, the back of the corner unit, and then the back is going to come across here as well. I'm not sure where I'm ending these lines yet. I'll come to those in a minute. And then I would have the top of the back. The top of the back's coming along here just now. And it would go over here, and I'd want to see a little line here, which would form the back of this bit here. So I want to make that nice and parallel. So what I'm doing is putting my ruler above the line that I want to draw so that I can see this line here and keep it absolutely parallel to that. So I've got the bare bones coming along here. So I just want to decide on a length for how long my sofa's going here. If I ended it directly underneath my vanishing point here, I could get away with just drawing a straight line. Because all of these vertical lines would end on that point, but actually I want to maybe show off this side a little bit. So I want to make it a little bit shorter. So I'm going to go with something like this. So this is going to form the side now. I'm going to project this line up to my vanishing point, this line up to my vanishing point. It's going to go across to that point, at which point this is going to go straight up. Because it's the back, and really what we're drawing here is only vertical or horizontal lines, or all my other lines are going to my vanishing point. And see a little bit from the top of that line I've just added over the back, going to our vanishing point. And I'm drawing the equivalent of this edge up here. And this is a straight line down from this corner that would join up to there. So I'm just going to pick out the bare bones of that a little bit better so you can see that. Certainly if you've got to this level, I would say you've done really well. And that would be your level 1 challenge done. If you're interested in making your sofa look a little bit more realistic. Stay with me, and we'll improve it. Like I say in these videos, feel free to work at them at your own pace. They're meant to be something for you to do if you're getting a little bit bored in the house. Certainly, I'm sure you've got quite a lot of time in your hands just now, so sketching and drawing's a great thing to fill your time with. I really like doing freehand sketching and drawing, or rather than CAD sketching and drawing. So it's a good opportunity to maybe talk about some of the benefits of sketching and drawing versus your CAD style drawing, and that I can do this with a pencil and paper. I don't need to have invested lots and lots of money in a computer and an expensive computer program. You know, I can do this with pennies worth of material. And certainly when I used to work, I worked as a designer for a little while, and I used to show my clients sketching and drawing that I'd done versus some CAD work that I'd maybe done. They're always very impressed by the sketching and drawing work. It seems a little bit more personal. They can see the work that's went into it, and it's certainly something that you can prove on as you keep on practicing. So guys, if you've got to that point, I would say that's your level 1 done. Even if you managed, if you're finding putting in the sort of corner unit a little bit tricky, just practice doing a sofa up to that point. So if you could have picked out that shape, I think that even that's impressive. But if you want to make it look a bit more realistic, let's try and do that. So it looks a bit angular here just now. Actually, on my sofa at home, I've got a sort of hard body with some softer cushions sitting on top. So that's what I'm going to try and add in now. So I'm going to sort of sketch that hard body shape on this side, and then I'm going to project that along. Trying to keep my cushions a kind of consistent depth. So it's something like that. A straight backed sofa might not be terribly comfortable, so I'm going to put a little angle on here as well. I'm going to match that angle that I've put on there. I'm maybe just going to bring that up a little bit over my edge. And so this would be sort of one cushion here. I'm just rounding off my edges a little bit. And this would be another cushion here. So I'm going to project these lines along now, back to my vanishing point. Again, when we're using curves and vanishing points, at some point the curve of my cushion here is going to be pointing directly at that vanishing point, and that's the little sweet spot to project your line from. And then that would come along here. Just going to round off my corners a little bit again, make it look a bit more like a cushion. This curve here again, at some point it's pointing directly at my vanishing point up here. Just want to put my ruler on my vanishing point and right on that sweet spot of that curve. Project that line back. That cushion's going to come along here as well, so I'm going to add that in. And then we would see the same cushion come down on this edge. So, looks a bit more comfortable now, I suppose, looks a bit more realistic, more detail I'm beginning to put in. My sofa at home is also kind of divided into almost individual seats, so I think I would like to put that on, maybe make these as individual cushions, So that's what I'm going to do now. So the corner unit is its kind of own separate unit, and then I want to match this kind of angle going up here as the back of the chair. We'd see, I've not put this angle on here yet, so I don't want to put that on. So the angle of my cushion going up here, I'm going to add that in here. And that's going to come up and carve over to this line here. And actually in this corner I'm going to do the same sort of angle, carving over. And we maybe see it on this as well. So, beginning to look a bit more detailed. As I said, I want to sort of put in the individual seats here. So, this is going to be one cushion, and then hopefully I'm trying to get the proportion where these get slightly smaller as they go down. That way they should look like the same size cushions, but a little trick that I could use there to get that proportion right would be to draw an X from this corner to here. So that would be my centre point here. I kind of want that centre point, if I'm going for 3 cushions here, I want that centre point to be in the middle of my middle cushion. So I'm going to go with something like this, I think. So the visual effect that you're looking for is that this cushion's slightly bigger than this one, and this one's slightly bigger than that one. And if you've found the centre of that with X, that your X is roughly in the middle of your middle cushion. Right guys, quite happy with that. So it's a rough representation of my sofa at home, but if I was going to improve my sofa at home, I'm always lacking storage, so as a wee added extra, I'm going to try and improve my sofa. So if you're looking for your level 3 challenge here, if you could try and think of a way of improving your sofa, I'm going to go for some storage. Always lacking storage. So this is going to be like a little drawer that can be pulled out. Again, I would like a handle in the middle of that. So I've already marked the middle of this top of the sofa, so I could just project a line through there, bring it over, and that's going to be the rough centre of my right guys, I'm just going to put these lines up here as well. That'll suggest that the cushions, there's cushions along the back as well, so that's the effect that I'm going for. So I'm adding the curves to the tops of these cushions. I'm just trying to match the shape that I've got at the front here. Right guys, so I just want to finish this off. So I'm going to go and do my bold outlines now. Hopefully we're getting used to the format of that. Hopefully you can see how the bold outlines and the construction lines work together. Try and keep your lines light. Now you might not see me rubbing out very often. I'm just trying to keep the video ticking along. There's probably things that I would rub out as I go along. Don't worry if you're rubbing out stuff. Pause the video. Keep trying till you get it right. It's taken me a wee while to learn how to draw, but it's definitely a skill you can learn, improve on. When people say, "Oh, I'm not very artistic" and things like that, I think this style of drawing, it's kind of a series of rules, isn't it? If you follow the rules, your drawing should kind of turn out okay. So, bold outlines. So I'd see a little bold outline over the top of that carved bit. I think I would see it. I'm trying to put it on the bottom of the cushions because they would kind of bulge out a little bit. So it'd be a little dark line underneath them. See a dark line around here, a bold line. So, quite happy with that. Last thing I want to do is actually put some feet on it. I think I would see some feet on this. I wouldn't actually be sitting on the ground like that. So I'm just going to sketch in a couple of little feet. Kind of guesstimating more than anything else where these would go. Right guys, so that's today's challenge for you to draw your sofa at home. You can try the bare bones. I'd be quite happy with that for a level 1, level 2. And going into sort of a bit more detail for level 3, where you'd maybe think of a way of improving your sofa at home. Might be charging points, or it might be a little table that comes out the side. Could be drawers. Anything you like. Be interested to see what you come up with. Thanks very much to those people who are sending in your pictures of your work. I've been very impressed so far. Please keep them coming. Best of luck, guys, and we'll see you all tomorrow.